Assalamualaikum, my name is ROSLI. My nomenclature is A20822113. I'll present introduction. ARSA'AT began aircraft administration on November 18, 1996 after it was set up in 1993. ARSA'AT was set up by the ARIF and administration's claim aggregate. On September 8, 2001, our previous time warder leader Tony Fernandez and Kamaruddin Merani Company Tune A Assembly Berhad purchased the aircraft. ARSA'AT Berhad, or what's called ARSA'AT, is a carrier that charges low as admission in Malaysia, and ARSA'AT is situated in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. ARSA'AT is the biggest carrier in Malaysia as far as armada, size and assignment of objection that can be reached. The ARSA'AT group will work two kinds of flight, in particular homeground and worldwide. Flight that can be booked to different objections, more than 165 objections in 25 nations. Tony Fernandez, the previous president of Warner Music, was to settle on whether to purchase the ARSA'AT on May 6, 2001 in light of Prime Minister Tun Mahathir bin Mohamad comment. The Prime Minister noticed that while he appreciates Fernandez's autism and idea, he will not be allowed a permit to send off another aircraft. After seeing an EasyJet television broadcast and being articulated by its operation, Fernandez considered putting together a plan to operate low-cost airline in Malaysia.
My name is Navishya Gengarajan and my metric number is A20A1582. Today I'm going to talk about the financial performance of AirAsia Berhad. AirAsia is one of the low-cost carriers in Malaysia. It focuses on providing high-frequency services on short-haul, point-to-point domestic and international routes, single-class and no-frills services such as meals or drinks, and in-flight entertainment on the flight within a 4-hour travelling distance. AirAsia started facing financial issues from the year 2000. It is because that it is the time where they have started operating their business and only have about 162 employees. Therefore, AirAsia planned to hire more cabin crews and pilots as their expansion plan. Unfortunately, AirAsia started losing profits even though their revenue increases. The table below here shows the financial performance of AirAsia Berhad in year 2000 and 2001. As we can see during the COVID-19 pandemic, the world currently is very influential on the life of many human beings. The existence of this pandemic had caused many activities to be stopped halfway and caused many terrible impacts towards many industries, especially to the airline business. This is said as the financial performance of AirAsia is now suffering a great loss in their company due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In the year 2020, the revenue of AirAsia Berhad has gone through a drastic change as all the shares fell after the carrier posted a record loss and 92% plunge in revenue because the demand for travelling internationally and locally has been restricted. Despite that, most of the employees were also laid off from their jobs so that the company could cut down some of its expenses due to the tight financial position facing by AirAsia. The table below shows the revenue of AirAsia Berhad in year 2019 and 2020.
Focus of this study is to determine are AirAsia Berhad operation got delayed by 2 years as Malaysia Airlines refused to share its regional routes with the new entrants, but AirAsia Berhad started after assuring Malaysia Airlines their routes would not overlap. AirAsia Berhad started showing their performance from February 1997 until September 1997 and started commercial schedule to Jakarta, Penang, Taipei and Kaohsiung in Taiwan, and Kota Kinabalu, Langkawi and Penang in Malaysia, as well as chartered flight to Subic Bay and Shenzhen, China. It began offer charter flight to Pattaya, Phuket, Thailand, and also offer various business firm ad hoc chartered flight. To avoid overlapping routes with Malaysia Airlines and Pelangi Air, it discontinued flying in June 1998 to Taipei and Jakarta in February 1998 and halted flying to Peninsula Malaysia. At the beginning of the operation, AirAsia Berhad had to lease its aircraft to pay route rent, but after 3 years of operation, AirAsia Berhad was able to own its aircraft after increased profit. When the load of passengers raising from 50% to 90%, AirAsia Berhad planned to have their aircraft by 1998. AirAsia Berhad's success is due to effective organization such as human resource management in offering skilled employees to provide the best service that can give satisfaction to customers. Due to the pandemic COVID-19 in our country, the government has announced a lockdown and strictly closed all the business sector on March 17, 2020. AirAsia Berhad also affected during this pandemic because there is no operation and have to defer loss. Additionally, the majority of flights had to be rescheduled or cancelled. AirAsia Berhad had to lay off roughly 10% of its 24,000 employees because of the COVID-19. The following outbreak, AirAsia promised that the employee will be rehired. After cutting operating expenses, profit are crucial for overcoming challenges. Through increased revenue, AirAsia focused on other commercial routes like fast food outlet, its commercial platform, Big Pay, and a cross-border package delivery. AirAsia offered numerous discounts and packages before the outbreak, such as flight redemption, go-vacation package, tickets, and unlimited pass sales. These offers were useless during the pandemic. Finally, AirAsia is innovative and inventive to overcome this problem because they have a talented and skillful team to have critical thinking and brainstorming during difficult times.
Hi, my name is Nur Hayati binti Ahmad ADENAN and my metric number is A2081358. Next, I will represent about Lawfare Airlines. The main purpose of Lawfare Airlines industry is to attract people into the industry with low fare, no frill, and high profit. The business model was similar in order to keep costs as low as possible through as many innovation in cost management as possible and to use the aircraft as frequently as possible. There are 3 airlines with the same concept, which are Southwest Airlines, Ryanair, and EasyJet. Firstly is Southwest Airlines. Number 1, the operation. In June 1971, it began with 3 aircraft and 4 aircraft in October 1971. Number 2, loss and profit. During first 2 years of operation, it incurred loss and had to sell one of its aircraft. However, the business became profitable in 1973 and continued thereafter. Number 3, offers. The price of the plane ticket was the lowest among the players. It operated point-to-point service. The airline has focused on building a culture of fun and integrated to minimize delivery time. Thus, it became the first airline in 1973 that offers employee stock and share profit. Secondly, Ryanair. Number 1, operation. It began flying in July 1985 and airline went public on 1997. Ryanair decided to have scheduled low-cost flight without onboard service between the 2 island states. Number 2, loss and profit. The airline has challenged historic airline AAR Lingus and British Airways because profitable every quarter since 1991. It made first profit of around €293,000 in 1991. The airline recorded net profit of €72.5 million in 2000, that an increase of 26%. Number 3, offers. It operated point-to-point service, however did not offer transit baggage support, which made passengers had to book each flight individually. The airline focused on minimized delivery times and negotiated lower landing and take-off as soon as possible. Thirdly, EasyJet. Number 1, operation. It launched on March 1995 with 2 Boeing 737-200. Number 2, online booking website that urged travelers to avoid travel agency and has been launched in April 1997. Number 3, offers. It operated point-to-point service. It focused on fast turnaround times, maximum aircraft utilization, and low of operating costs. It designed with high density, 1 and 1 class layout, and became the first economy carrier in Europe. In November 2000, the airline launched its IPO. Thus, it showed that there are urge to attract people into the low-fare airline industry. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is UTHAYASURIYAN, A20A2056. I'm here to present about the effects of financial performance of ARSA'AT that could bring to a company or an organization. A company or organization on the rise is marked by growth, new acquisitions, and new product or service lines to the view of financial statement. However, organizations such as ARSA'AT are facing a financial crisis. Rather than preparing for expansion, keeping solvent becomes a more pressing concern. First, due to financial difficulties, company owners such as ARSA'AT will have to reconsider which departments are necessary. Some will be completely removed while others will be observed by other departments. Due to financial concerns in the ARSA'AT organizations, management will reduce a few positions and lay off certain employees. As an example, following the challenge scenario caused by the COVID-19 outbreak, ARSA'AT Berhad may lay off more than 300 personnel to streamline operations, according to HAZWANI. The layoff is anticipated to affect 111 of the 1,900 crew members, 172 pilots and 50 engineers, according to CEO AHMAD during an internal briefing session. Next, many businesses have struggled financially as a result of the quarantine and lockdown implemented in the aftermath of the COVID-19 epidemic. The ARSA'AT organization have taken out a substantial loan with an adjustable rate of interest. Since ARSA'AT financial performance is not the best, the organization has considered to restructure its debt. It would enable the airline to avoid being delisted from the Malaysian stock market after being classified as a financially troubled firm. Thank you.
Next is how the problem of operation and route network delay can affect the organization. For AirAsia Sdn Bhd or AAB, their airline operation has been delayed as they were unable to use the same air route with Malaysian Airlines or MA during the mid-1990s, as MA thought that AAB's flight will overlap with their own. AirAsia operation is unable to start their operation if they were unable to convince MA to share the regional route, as MA is the top airlines company in Malaysia at the time. Thus, they have the monopoly of the regional commercial air route. However, with AAB's operation focusing on low-cost domestic flight in their early days, which is quite different with MA's operation as it offers both domestic and international flights. This ensures that their flight will not overlapping with MA's operation. This process took about 2 years until AAB able to start their airline operation in 1996.
As a fact, an increase in the number of passengers will lead to increase in terms of competition. Competition is a concept that prevails in the market economy and poses a threat to AirAsia. An increase in the number of passengers will open opportunities in the domestic market. The opening of opportunity in the domestic market caused by AirAsia to compete with the others like Malaysia Airlines. Opportunities for AirAsia is large market of middle and low income group, especially in domestic airline. After AirAsia launched its cheap airline ticket, flight from one destination to another destination are no longer a barrier for this group. The cheap fares offered by AirAsia allow everyone to afford to abroad upturn and not just for the elite. So it is the best opportunity for AirAsia to compete with the other airline company. Next, AirAsia about to expand its market and it will increase the number of competition with the other airline company. AirAsia maintained its position as a low-cost airline by expanding its flight destination, so that AirAsia can demonstrate its capability in expanding the airline industry overseas. AirAsia has provided its service local and abroad. These situations can give an advantage to AirAsia to be able to compete with the other airline company.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Farah Najwa binti Tahir and my metric number is A20817 and 15, and I will be presenting the recommendation based on the issues. A recommendation is key for companies' long-term sustainability, especially AirAsia. Firstly, recommendation on AirAsia's financial performance. AirAsia should use the collar hanging techniques to manage its exposure to their financial risks. The techniques has the advantages of limiting speculative risk to restrict a range of price changes. For instance, when oil price fall, the airline industry, includes AirAsia, is seen as the main beneficiary, as a fuel is one of the main operational costs when compared to other factors. Other than that, AirAsia will have to cut the cost significantly. They need to minimize their personal costs as a result of headcount rationalization. For instance, all employees, including directors, will face compensation cuts. Then, due to the pandemic COVID-19, AirAsia need to reduce its ground handling costs by increasing contactless procedures to limit infection risk. Next, a recommendation on AirAsia operation and route network. AirAsia needs to undertake a systematic network and fleet optimization strategy across the network in order to survive. AirAsia must constantly evaluate its network to guarantee that it is flying the most popular and profitable routes. Low rates drive demand and expand the air travel market, as seen as by the recent opening of several new domestic routes. As a result, clients who desire to fly will be more prone to choose AirAsia as their first option. Thank you.
Hi, my name is HAZWANI. My material number is A2082218. I continue about the operation and route network. ARSA'AT company is by introducing major safety route, the connect safety at home and abroad. The operation engine of ARSA'AT company is done through the systematic process can be made by the company so no problem occur. The route is done to future strengthen the travel chain as well as provide various option for tourism and to transport option. For example, during COVID-19, straight on cabin and passenger to ensure high standard can be done. Next, the international low-fare airline industry. AirAsia continue to be a cheap airline to meet to convoys passengers than ever thought. It is cheap. It still has great flight to enjoy, and then I believe the company is able to provide the best flight to all passengers, so that profitable during the flight. And then AirAsia continue to provide low cost flight, even though it is severe about the pandemic. AirAsia has to make its special flight more organized, so that passengers can acquire timetable that don't overlap. And then cancel last minute flight and can be controlled cost to avoid those, especially when COVID-19. And then the scheduled flight also have the quarantine that there are no transportation when making flight the include other people. In 1999, AirAsia got a dependable airline certificate and become the most popular airline. And then COVID-19 epidemic caused airline user for AirAsia flight as no tourism activity were available. And then flight operation will later restart the following year. However, the required some are produced from the crew, and then as no tourism activity were available. And then flight operation will later restart the following year. However, the required some are produced from the crew and then the staff.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Navishya binti Muhammad Idris with metric number A20A1648. Okay, the last part is conclusion. In conclusion, this case study discusses about the main issue of regulation of AirAsia. The main issue is financial performance, operation and road network, and lawfare airline. Financial performance is the main thing that needed to emphasize by all companies. Therefore, the loss in year 2001 is 90 million, whereas the accumulated losses increased to a total 157 million that is yet to be paid, including the sum of loss from the previous year. Ineffective management at AirAsia illustrate happening today. Furthermore, the recommendation is AirAsia financial performance should be improved. AirAsia need to undertake a systematic network and fleet optimization strategy across the network in order to survive and prepare for entering the endemic phase of COVID-19, carrying out for a sustainable and viable future. And the last is AirAsia has to make its scheduled flight more organized so that passengers can accurate timetable that don't overlap and know when they can board a flight.